Today we are going to swatch the new Daniel Smith colors I have picked up over the last couple of months and see what I think. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so after the last couple months, I have collected 15 new Daniel Smith colors to add to my watercolor collection. Now, these were based off of using the Daniel Smith swatch cards or dot cards, like these bad boys here. I got these from Blick, which you can too. I will leave a link in the description below. But basically, I sat and swatched every single little dot here, which is 238 colors in total. And then I went through and selected the colors that I wanted to buy the tubes of. Now, did I get all of the ones I want? No, because in fact, there's one I'm looking at right now. But I was like, oh shoot, should have bought that. That's what I can go shopping for next. The ones with the check marks I already have purchased, which includes the ones here. So yeah, I purchased 15 based off of those little dot cards. Now I am going to be swatching in my Etcher 100% cotton cold press sketchbook, because that is what I paint in typically. So I want to swatch on the paper I paint on. Makes sense, right? All right, and then I have my trusty paint puck cup next to me, and because I have put these little dollops here on my Medine ceramic palette, I have more wiggle room, so I'm going to use my number 12 Princeton Neptune. So I have them in order, and hopefully I don't accidentally get myself out of order, but let's get swatching. Okay, so first up is Lemon Yellow. Now these are going to be a little more concentrated because they're coming straight out of the tube and these haven't had time to dry. So keep that in mind. So this is PY 175. Ooh, hi there. Need more water on my brush. Thought I had enough. Okay, there we go. It is lemony. Okay, Permanent Orange. Permanent Orange is actually in my fall palette already, which tells you how long ago I have started to collect these. But actually my summer palette, not my fall palette. But yeah, I had already thrown that one in there. So this is HG5 and PO62. Ooh, always pretty. Now I purposely go out of the line so that I can check my opacity. And I am using a, words are hard today, a permanent ink, so it's not going to move when I get it wet. Permanent Alizarin Crimson, this is PR, wow, 177, and PV19, and PR 149. Sorry, that color took me aback. Wow, that color is luscious. Let me zoom you guys in a little more. See that swatching action? Okay, so now we are moving on to Quinacridone Pink. If you've watched my channel long enough, you know I have an obsession with quinacridones in general. This is PV 42. Oh, yes. Yes. I like. Like I always say, I haven't met a quinacridone I don't like. Okay, Quinacridone Lilac. I do love the quinacridones from Daniel Smith. PR 122. Oh, wow, look at that color. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, and then, following our theme of quinacridone, why not? I have Quinacridone Magenta. PR 202. Ooh. I know it might look a little bit like this one, but this has definitely got the redder side to it. And of course, never judge watercolor while it's wet. Watercolor dries lighter, and the color can change just ever so slightly. All right. Rose of Ultramarine. This is PB29 and PV19. Oops, I got a glop. That's what happens when you go out of the tube. Okay. Then I have Quinacridone Purple. This is PB55. Oh, wow. Just look at the way that color develops the second you put it down. I do swatch dry to wet. Wow, frog in my throat. But that is because that's how I paint. So I like to swatch the way I paint so I can see the color. You know, traditional swatching, a lot of people will swatch mass tone and then also bring water up to the color and let the color run down. But I don't typically paint that way, and I don't do wet on wet, so I swatch the way that works for me. All right, now we are on to Sap Green, which is PO48 and PY150 and PG7. I really like that color. Okay. Some of these are starting to dry on my palette, so it just takes me a bit. Now this Cascade Green did not want to come out of its tube very well. This is PBR7 and PB15. I'm gonna get it over here so it doesn't mingle with the Sap Green. Yeah, it was really thick coming out of the tube, and it's starting to dry on my Medine palette and not re-wetting very well. Okay, Undersea Green. This is PB29, PO48, PY150. Oh, I like that color. Let's get a little bit more up top here. Oh, you can see all the colors in it. Oh, I just love the way paints react on this paper. Ugh. I'm not even sick and I got a cough. What's up with that? All right, Prussian Green, PB27 and PY97. Hang on, there's a little gloop trying to stick to me. Oh, that is beautiful. That really is beautiful. Okay. So now we have Phthalo Blue Green shade. This is PB15-3, pretty typical pigment for this. However, as I always say, names and pigments still can vary by brand based on everything else they put in there. So, wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful blue. I'll zoom out as well so you can get a better view once we're done. Okay, so here is the Prussian blue. This is PB27. Oh, it's beautiful. I love Prussian blues. I'm a sucker for those. In paint form, in pencil form, I actually don't use them as much. It's kind of interesting. All right, this one I'm very excited about. Mayan Dark Blue PB82. When I swatched this on the dot card, yes, I was in love, and I still am. Oh, it's a beautiful color. All right, let me just zoom you guys out. Okay, so here are all the colors. Now they are wet, so as I always say, never judge a watercolor wet. So we're gonna let these dry, and then I will come back and chat about what I think about these colors, if I'm happy I purchased it and added it to my collection, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so can we just talk about these colors? Now, I did use the dot cards, but the dot cards don't always represent the color as well as you think, but they give you a really good idea. That said, you know, they aren't on the paper I normally paint on, and this paper is different than the swatch card. So that's really important to keep in mind when you're doing dots. You have to remember, hey, how's this going to look? You can scoop it off the dot and put it on your sketchbook. I just didn't want to waste that much paper on 238 colors. All right. So I do like the lemon yellow and permanent orange. These are always good additions to your palette, especially yellow being a primary color because hi there, mixing. But this permanent orange as well is really nice. So I am happy about that because I did get a 15 ml because that's the only size they had at Blick that day. So, but I will be using that, so no worries there. Okay, this permanent alizarin crimson is, oh my gosh, so pretty. Wow, that thing is like, oh, even when I swatched it, I was like, oh, hello. Okay, the quinacridone pink, all these quinacridones I love, but like I said, I have yet to meet a quinacridone I didn't love. They are very similar to one another though. So like if you're on a budget, I wouldn't go buying all of those. In fact, if I had to pick a favorite from those three alone, you got to remember this is a PV, so this is more violet leaning. These are more red leaning, but I would honestly go with the quinacridone lilac. It's perfect in between. And look at that color. That's so pretty. I love this rose of ultramarine because look at the granulation. Do you see the ultramarine just powing its way through? That's the PB29. Just hello. So, wow, that's a pretty color. This quinacridone purple is just luscious. Absolutely luscious. Love this sap green. Oh my goodness. I really like that sap green. I'm happy I bought that. I think I got a small tube of that. What is wrong with me? It's okay. 5 ml tube lasts forever. The Cascade green, I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna be honest. I see the granulation. I do. It's definitely a granulating color, but I don't know if I'm feeling it. I am, however, feeling this undersea green. Look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, love it. And the Prussian green as well. Oh, it's lovely. This is a very dark color, but as you can see, it's still transparent. You might not see it here, but that's because that was a little more mass tone. This phthalo blue is very, very pretty. I like this one a lot. But I really love this Prussian blue. Wow, that is such a pretty PB27. I like it. But the Mayan dark blue, oh, yeah. I'm so glad I got that one in a big tube. I knew I was going to like it, so I'm very happy I added that. So yeah, let me know what your favorite colors are out of the new 15 I have added to my collection. I like all of them. I'm definitely going to be using all of them. And especially when I'm creating my palettes and whatnot, except maybe that Cascade green. That might pop up in a giveaway when I destash, because I'm not sure I love that one. I'm not gonna lie. I may need to play with it a little more. Like I said, here it is on my palette. It had started to dry and was not re-wetting very well. And in fact, let's compare it to the dot card. So on the dot card, it looks a lot nicer than how it came out here. And it did re-wet on the dot card, obviously, because I have a lot more of a concentrated color there. And I like it on the dot card. Interesting, because it is a granulating color. It's semi-transparent, so you are going to have a little bit of opacity, but nothing crazy. And it's non-staining. No. Medium staining. Sorry, can't read my numbers, but it's very interesting because, yeah, coming out of the tube and the way it was re-wetting, I didn't like, but I liked the way it was on the dot card. So I'm wondering if the tube is possibly just an issue, because I really struggled to get it out of there. It's like you can even feel it. So maybe I'll have to buy another one, but I would hate to do that. All right, well, those are my thoughts on my new Daniel Smith colors. Let me know what you think. If you have any of these colors, if any of these are your favorite, let's talk about it. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So until next time, take care. Bye now.